Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Yalik, and I wanted to share this attack before it fell off my attack log, which it is about to do, as you can see. So this was from last night, and it's unboosted. You can see there by the stats. And the interesting thing about this, it's just a warrior attack. But the interesting thing about this is that, first of all, this guy had 7 ice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7 ice, and that means he only has 3 offensive masterpieces, and that means, to me, typically, that means tank queen. You can't see it now because, well, you can see when you scout the base what troops a person has loaded out. You can't see it from the replay, but he had tanks, and usually when I see that sort of statue configuration at this level, that is the troop loadout that I would expect, tank queen. Now the interesting thing about this hit is that this player has set up his base specifically to try to stop warrior attacks. However, being a tank queen, he doesn't know what he's doing. So he tried to stop the run up the right side, and you can see that is Death Valley. That's just really just laced with mines. Oh, and there's the dog. Just laced with mines over there. And so that's not good. But the thing about that is, okay, so I'm not going to follow that path because it's going to destroy me, but I can follow any other. This happens to be unboosted, but if I were boosted, I could, run up the other wall of the base. I could do some laps back here between those two buildings, then go over to the HQ, and I would still have the GBE to take him down. So yeah, I don't have to follow this path. Even not being boosted, I checked up the middle of the base behind these buildings, and there are no mines, which makes sense because you only get a certain amount of mines, and all of his are clearly visible all around the front and outside of this base. Complete waste, because again, I don't have to go this way. I can just as easily go, let's say, I like this rocket launcher because from here to the hotpot and HQ, it's a 45-degree angle. So I can follow this path to that rocket launcher. These mines up here, very, very easily cleared with one barrage. Okay, there's nothing else from here, and all the way up to here. There's one mine there, and there are 2 there. I do need to pop the 2 together. Don't necessarily need to pop this single mine, but I will just to clean things up, and because honestly, there is so little mine clearance required here. Because this is it's not a good setup. And so, like I said, I know he's trying to stop warriors. First of all, he's put the mines all the way up the wall leading to his HQ. Second of all, he has hot pots and flamethrowers, well, a hot pot and flamethrowers positioned around the HQ, which is specifically the sort of towers that warriors do not do well with. He has a grappler here. This grappler is designed to yank bullet away from the warriors so that then taunt will expire, and then the warriors will be fried by these towers. Unfortunately for him, because he doesn't really know what he's doing, this other shock launcher, this is out of range. This one is in range, just barely, but it's also in a position where I can shock it very easily with the grappler. That one's out of range completely, and this blaster is doing him virtually no good. I say virtually no good, it's certainly not defending his HQ. It does impact the shore where I would like to land, because again, I want to get to this rocket launcher. So this is in range of that, and normally you'll see what I do on this drop. I use the single line flag drop, and normally I would be dropping bullet at the head of that formation, but in this case I'm not going to do that. I'm going to drop a boat of warriors first. Normally that flag up front would be bullets. In this case it is not. Bullet was somewhere after. If I lose a couple of warriors to the blaster, that's fine. I do this drop because it pulls the warriors into this midline, and then it's very easy to throw a single smoke. They all pull together, and then you flare them to their first point and start smoking that line. So that blaster could have impacted bullets landing on the beach, and that would be bad because it would chain shock him and then he would die. But of course, We didn't let that happen, and so now it is a complete non-factor for the rest of the attack, as is much of the rest of the base. I'm going to flare the hot pot rather than the HQ. That's just a sort of a waypoint. Immediately barely stop at the hot pot and proceed to the HQ. It's just to keep the warriors running in a skinnier line as opposed to spreading out the width of the HQ. Easier to smoke that way. And so, there. One shock right in the middle of these two towers. I don't need to worry about any of these things. Everything back here near this HQ, which again, he thinks he's defending himself from a warrior attack. He is absolutely not. Everything back by the HQ is taunted and focused on bullet, and my warriors aren't even being shot at as they tear through this guy's HQ. He has 7 ice. He cares about defense. And I'm not boosted. And that really, I mean, it's really funny, but it's also pretty tragic at the same time. He thinks he's trying to stop this exact thing from happening, and yet he does not understand what he's trying to defend because he's a tank queen and probably only has that one strategy and doesn't understand others, so therefore he doesn't know how properly to defend against this strategy. And even though he's trying to defend against it, it ends up being the exact best possible thing. I mean, to beat him. Look at all the warriors that we have left there after finishing him off. So, funny, yet sad. Don't be a one-dimensional tank queen. I guess that would be the takeaway here. Anyway, that's all I've got for you on this one, and hope you have a great day. I'm out.